Trump well. Now we move the focus on to Bangladesh. Bangladesh will be holding parliamentary elections and a national referendum on February 12th of this year. In the lead up to the polls, political violence and extremist attacks may target rallies, polling stations, and religious sites such as mosques, churches, and temples. The U.S. Embassy in Dhaka has advised U.S. citizens to remain cautious, avoid large gatherings, and be aware of their surroundings. Demonstrations, even those who intended to be peaceful, can escalate into violence. The government has announced transportation restrictions starting February 10th with a full ban on motorcycles and all transport on February 11th and 12th. As a result, embassy services will be limited on those dates. The country has been gripped by political violence ahead of the elections following the August 2024 toppling of Sheikh Hasina's government. With the ban on Hasina's party, Awami League, authorities are expecting violence to erupt around the poll dates. Now for this discussion, we welcome retired Major General Gigi Dwivedi. He's a veteran and also a professor of international relations and strategic studies. Joins us live from New Delhi.
Thank you, Suma. Thank you.
Thank you for joining. Now looking at this, what are we to make of current situation in Bangladesh? Do you think that Bangladesh is doing enough to carry out peaceful elections on February 12th?
Well, Suma, it's a very crucial time for Bangladesh. The 12th, elections that are taking place, but the environment are very, very delicate. I would say volatile, because with this new administration under Yunus, first and foremost, the law and order is not very effective. There have been series of violent cases against especially minorities, and the radical elements like Islamist element, Jamaatis are calling the shots. So therefore, it's a very, very, I would say, delicate and sensitive period that Bangladesh is going through. The second point is the fairness of elections. That also is a big question mark, because the major party, Awami League, has been banned from the taking part in the elections, and Jamaatis, which is a congregation or the alliance of 10 parties, are actually being supported tacitly by the current administration. So therefore, it's very difficult time for Bangladesh, and especially, I don't think the law and order enforcement agencies are fully in control because of the kind of violence and the instances that have taken place. But nonetheless, some effort has been made, but I don't think it is enough on the ground. And especially, I have a skepticism that the minorities, which traditionally had supported the Awami League, will be very, very cautious or feel intimidated to openly vote. So on the whole, this is a very, very sensitive situation, very delicate situation, and instances of violence have taken place, and rightly so. The most of the foreign countries, foreign embassies have issued a kind of a warning or a caution that their residents should stay away from the public places or from the places where the gatherings could be attacked, or there can be reasons, or there can be instances of violence. Asuma.
Right. And how do you analyze the current relationship between India and Bangladesh?
Well, first and foremost, the relations between India and Bangladesh have taken a nosedive after Yunus administration has assumed, the power, and there are a couple of reasons for this. First and foremost, Yunus as a person is highly indisposed and hostile toward the Indian government. He has a set agenda to bring the radical elements in place. He has cozied up to Pakistan, and today their relation between Bangladesh and Pakistan army actually are growing day by day. More than a dozen delegations from each country have visited each other, and some of the very defining developments. Pakistani naval ship Saif, it docked at Chittagong, and the Pakistanis are going to be training the Bangladesh army. There have been joint exercises between Pakistan and the Bangladesh Defense Forces. And along with that is the China. You know, China has a very deep-rooted presence in Bangladesh. They have taken the economic route. About 38 to 40 billion dollars have been committed to the development of Bangladesh. Almost $7 billion have been actually already utilized. And Bangladesh is only yesterday they have signed a agreement to produce drones. Also, there's a very sensitive airport very close to the Indian border. That is Lalmoni Hat, and that is being developed as a base. So all this goes on to show that as far as India is concerned, the security is become a paramount issue, and it is directly, affecting the India's sovereignty and integrity, because a statement have been made by the official in the higher echelons and also by the people that India's seven states, which are very geographically vulnerable, because there's a very narrow corridor, Siliguri corridor, of just about 22, 23 kilometers, which connects the North Indian states, that they are vulnerable, and they will make effort to even break their contact with India. So all that which is going on, I think, is of high concerns to India, and India will have to take action both politically and otherwise, because if Bangladesh continues its anti-India approach, is some kind of hostility or belligerency, then I think the action will have to be would be rather hard, and that will have impact on the relationship between the two countries. And my last point is also demographics. The kind of demographic changes that have taken place along the India-Bangladesh border, the kind of inundation, also the illegal immigration that are taking place, all these are highly concerning, and I think India will have to take some very stern steps to ensure that our sovereignty and our integrity is not compromised. Asuma.
Right. And you briefly touched upon this, but could closer defense engagement between Bangladesh and Pakistan influence the regional security here?
Yes, because the point is that after 71 war, the war which I fought,
Yes.
Bangladesh and Pakistan had no relations as such, and their relations were also almost, you can say, in a very cold, freeze state. But the point is, after UNIS government has come to power, the whole situation has changed. Now, what is the impact it will have? Because we need to see this whole situation from three dimensions: Bangladesh, then Pakistan and China, because that's a kind of trilateral that is developing. Now there is a direct contact or the connectivity between Bangladesh and Pakistan. The China is deeply interested because of his own interest in Bay of Bengal, his interest in what they call is the BRI, that is the Belt Road Initiative, and also our border with China, especially in the area of Doklam, that is the Siliguri-Sikkim corridor, is highly contested. So when you put all these things together, the kind of cooperation that is developing between the Bangladesh army, the Pakistan army, the kind of, in fact, the Bangladesh army is mostly equipped by the Chinese equipment, and also the Pakistan army. So this also ensures interoperability between the defense forces of Pakistan and China and Bangladesh. And lately, Bangladesh has taken some very concrete steps to step up its defense capability. They are raising a commando brigade or special forces brigade. They are also, buying major equipment. Now, JF-17 is one of the major equipment that is going to be bought from Pakistan, which is a joint venture between Pakistan and Bangladesh. And as I already said, the drone manufacturing facility, the agreement has been signed only yesterday. So all I can say is that this trilateral, the kind of bonhomie, kind of coziness that is going on between the Bangladesh Pakistan army, overseen by China, is very, very sensitive as far as India is concerned. Suma.
Thank you very much. With that, I would like to thank retired Major General Gigi Dwivedi for joining us and sharing that insight. Now we move to focus on to China. China is